of the horse-shaped chariot, a so-called UFO. Because the Lord is coming back, in these chariots, which are compared to horses, which are compared to clouds, which are compared to whirlwinds, and that's what's going to that's how you're going to know that definitely that the Lord is here. That's why it said as the what is it, the east, the wind coming from the east or something to that effect. Then that's how the coming of the Lord is going to be. That's in the book of Matthew 24. So it's going to be obvious that the Lord is here. It ain't going to be no rumor. It ain't going to be no hologram. It's going to be the Lord coming back. And that's going to be that spectacular salvation that the scriptures speak about. That no man's looking for that except for the elect and some people that know about the scriptures. Matter of fact, Matthew 24 and 27. For as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. And that's going to be the chariots that are going to be beaming up the elect. What Esau calls a so-called tractor beam that comes out of the ship, and to pull the elect up out of this destruction that's coming upon America. You got something, brother?
Yeah, this is 2 Ezra 13:1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whatsoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instruments of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it has been a blast of fire.
Right, that's that concentrated heat, those lasers that are going to be coming out of the chariots. Because remember, the first judgment or the first death was the flood. And the second death that's coming is going to be fire. And that fire is going to be nuclear fire. That's why do you think the Most High, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, gave Esau, the so-called white man, that technology to split the atoms and create these different atomic bombs, neutron bombs, hydrogen bombs, and eventually the nuclear bomb. Because that's how the Most High is going to bring that judgment forth upon this devil. And it's going to come upon any devil that's on the soils of America, any Edomite that's on the soils of America. He's going to burn up. The heathens that are over here trying to get land, they're going to burn up. The 2/3 of Israel that are here, they're gonna burn up. And anything that's left here on the soils of America is gonna burn up.
Yeah, there's another scripture backing up. Now I showed you that number of pictures of that same event of this UFO hovering over a volcano that erupted in Mexico. And you can clear. I mean, it's you can't explain it, man. But everybody said the same thing. It was a UFO, unidentifiable flying object in the shape of a horse. Now it says here in 2 Kings 2:11 and 12, it says, and it came to pass as the day was Elijah and Elisha. Elisha was the understudy of Elijah, which Elijah came back as John the Baptist. Then he came back as what we call Abba Bivens, which taught Yaikwab, Marshal Arya and Yaikwab, the truth, all right, which those guys, those other GMS groups, they deny that now. They was all taught that. They don't teach that, man. They don't teach that. They don't teach that Marshal, they don't call Marshal King Marshal or High Priest Arya. We still call Arya High Priest Arya. Now, whether the Most High have mercy on him or the Most High bring judgment against him, that's between him and the Most High, because he's outside of our circle. Okay? So, it's between him and the Most High. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Read again. 2 Kings 2:11. And it came to pass as they still went, the day as Elijah and Elisha went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire. All right? And horse means power. Like when you get a car, a fast car, you go to the dealer, you ask, how many horsepower? There's not horses in there, but that's how they rate the power of a car. Even you have certain lights in your car, lamps, and they're rated by a thing called candle power or candlelight power. Even to this day. All right? It says, in horses of fire, and parted them both. Now this was what Esau would call a UFO. And parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind, which that's the shape of a ship. It was whirling around, a saucer, so you can understand, into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel. That's why we say when the Lord comes, we get beamed up into the chariots, because Elisha called it a chariot of Israel. And the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in two pieces, because he was astonished by it, man. Stupefied, so you can understand. So, I mean, look up in the skies. When you go to regular media, your CNN and your ABC News and your Fox News and your different news outlets, they're not going to show you everything that's going on around the earth, man. There's UFO sightings that take place pretty much every day around the earth, but they don't report it because Esau knows those are the angels. And if they don't know it by any other means, they know it by watching us, because they listen to us and they check things to see if this is going to happen or that's going to happen. They know that there's beings up there in the heaven, man. They've been trying to hide it. They seen unexplained things, man, where they said, we ain't going to put this in the news. So everything is in, all things are in place for the great judgment, and the judgment of Babylon, which is America, in the book of Revelation, in the book of Jeremiah, in the book of Isaiah, and in other books. And the key person of Babylon, the king of Babylon, is not Barack Obama. He's just a puppet. It's these top elite, bankers, namely the Rothschilds and so forth. These top warlocks behind the scenes that you don't know about. You don't hear their name every day. So, I mean, everything's in place, man. All the prophecies, there's only a couple of prophecies left. That's the chipping of the people, which is the fulfillment of the mark of the beast. Putting the mark in the people's right hand or in their foreheads. And in Revelation 20 and 4, it said in their foreheads or in their hands. Didn't say right or left. And then you have the situation over there with the Persians, which are being called the people of Iran today. And that's going to be stirred up by the so-called Jew and the Russians. So everything is coming into play, man. You jakes that are playing games, and there's no excuse. All you Israelites have smartphones where you can go on YouTube. You got computers at home. You be poor as hell. You got a big screen TV. Niggas know how to get shit, man. They can get, you You can get a computer and you can use a Wi-Fi. Hey, I found out yesterday if your phone gets cut off, you go to Wi-Fi, you can still pick up the web. Your phone could be dead, but if you go to what do you call it? You go to the Wi-Fi to settings, you can watch the web, man. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Pretty much the majority of Israel in this country and around the world